G'day, welcome to another video, and today I am going to be announcing the release of my admin panel, and this is available on Roblox Studio for all of you guys to use in your games. Now, I'm going to be walking you guys in this video through how you can set this up and how you can add this to your game. So, without further ado, let's proceed into the main part of this video. So guys, what you want to do is you want to come over to this URL up here, where we have createroblox.com, store asset, this asset ID, and admin panel v1. I will leave a link to this in the description below and in the pinned comment, so that you guys can go down and check this out and get access to this at the click of a button. So when you're here, you will see admin panel v1 by Secondary Genuine Unstored Dev. Creator is unverified. Now, I am not verified on that account, because this was made not by my main account, this was made by my developer account. That is still me though, don't worry. Now, it says here this model contains scripts. That is perfectly fine. So it is a model because it has scripts inside of it, but I don't know what you guys through how you can get this into your game. So, currently here it has, in the description, the newly released admin panel, currently in V1 stage, which means it's currently been only in release stage. Credit made by me and tested by my friends, and the copyright here. Now, you guys, keep in mind, if you're going to be using this in your game, you are not allowed to resell this to other people for a price. If you want to give this to other people for them to use, you can do so. You just are not allowed to charge them any money for it, as that is against my own copyright policy, as this was made by me, and I don't want this being resold to other people for money, considering I am selling this to people for free. So do not sell this to other people for money, as that is not allowed. And it also says here, do not claim ownership of asset, meaning there are some things in the asset, copyright purposes, saying that this was made by me and in the year of updated. It will say copyright in the asset 2026 admin panel v1, and that is basically just for copyright purposes. If that is in any games and it is not there, that is against copyright. You have to leave it in there, and you are not allowed to claim ownership of the product, as it was not made by anyone other than me. You are free to make customizations to it, you still cannot call it your own product, as it was made by me. So, with all of that out of the way, you can see technical reviews. As script count is 15, there are 15 scripts, but you don't need to worry about all of that. Reviews, no reviews published. So, if you go here and click get model, it will be added to your inventory. Come down to Roblox Studio, click new experience or experience that you currently have open. Then you can come here and you can go into your base plate. Now, once you're here, you will need to navigate over to Toolbox, then click this 4 buttons up here. This is your inventory. Then you can click the admin panel here, made by an unverified creator, but it is perfectly fine. Then you will get your admin panel v1. If you go ahead and Control U to ungroup it, you will get all of these items, but I recommend you keep it like this in its previous stage until you are done. So all of these need to be moved to their locations. Command events. Now, this contains all of your events for your commands. You need to move this into the replicated storage. And you need to do the same thing for configuration, which is the module script for configuration. I will walk you through that in a moment though. Announcement runner, command runner, and script need to be put into the subscript service, and they are important things. This here is mainly just check and verify. That is not necessary anymore, and you guys can actually get rid of that. That will be fixed in a moment. After this video, that should not be there. So you have these two. Command runner is basically going to be running the commands after they have been run through the admin panel, and that is basically like the server side running the commands and actually making them work. Announcement runner is running the announcements through the server before running them back to the client afterwards, because you have to run them from the client to the server before running it back to the client, as you can't run from client to client using remote events, as events go from client to server and server to client. With that done, you can move your core UI into starter player and move that into starter player scripts, as core UI is sorting out the mute and unmute commands as they disable and enable your chat from your in and core GUI type with set core GUI enabled. You don't need to worry about any of this though. Admin and notification, you can move into starter GUI, and that is the admin panel right there. You can delete the admin panel model from the workspace now. That is done. And as I previously mentioned, 2026 admin panel V1. Like I said, you cannot resell any of this stuff, but I've mentioned all of that already, so I'm not going to rant about that again. So now I'm going to be showing you guys how the admin panel works. So before you can actually use it, you need to set it up. There are only a few customizations you need to do. Configuration in replicated storage, you will have 2 configurations that you can do. There will be more added in the future if I update this at some point. So, admin panel access whitelist. This is who can access your admin panel. I recommend you delete this and you put in game.creator ID. That is the person or the user ID of the person that owns the game or the experience. And I recommend you put that in, otherwise put in the user IDs of the people by hand. And like for example for me, for my main account, 17056397769, that is my user ID, and you can find that on people's profiles in the URL bar. But I recommend game.creator ID and then any other user ID you want, separated by a comma and a space. You don't need the space, but you need the comma or a semicolon. That works as well. Then announcement duration. The announcement duration is how long the admin announcement stays on screen for. So when you run an announcement for the admin panel, it will display for whoever you targeted it to, and the announcement duration is how long that stays on screen for. For me, currently, for default, it is 10 seconds, but you can customize this to your liking. Once you have customized those 2 settings, like I said, there are only 2, there will be more in the future if I add more commands to this. And if you load in, currently you do not see anything up here. Now in here it says you must publish this place to the web to access data store. Now data store is actually used in here for ban and unban, as that uses data being saved into the data store servers to save the fact that someone has been banned or unbanned. So you need to publish the game to Roblox and test or whatever you want. Make sure it is saved. If you currently have your game saved like this, then you can come up to File and Experience Settings, then Security, turn on HTTP requests and Studio access to API services. This one up here, you don't need to worry about at the moment. So what you can do now is save and then load in again. Just check there's nothing in the side preventing anything from running. So up here, as you can see, we have an error with mouse button one click, and this is only due to configuration. So game.creator ID, but I'm going to change this to my own. 17056397769, and you can actually put that in and then it will work. Hopefully. There we go. Admin panel, as you guys can see at the top. We do have errors here with the cloud. We don't need to worry about that though. I'm still unsure what that is. So admin panel button up here. Click that and this will appear. So as you guys can see inside here, we have secondary gaming on YT or secondary store genuine. Now I do have a long name, so this will be shrinked down, and otherwise if you have a smaller name it will fill up the entire space. That's just because of the size of my name. So currently if you click this, there's a bug with clicking this, it does not display here, which is why you have to spam this and find where it works. It will eventually fill in this space here. Now enter username. If you put in this requested the target username that you want, or click the button in here. Now this is detecting when players join the server. The second the player joins the server, they are added to here, and the refresh interval is basically instant. And yeah, command content, you can put in the content, but you don't actually have to. If I mute myself here, you can see up here in the corner, my chat is disabled. I cannot open the chat because I've been muted. That was an issue that I had recently. It is now fixed. Unmute, you now have access to the chat again. I can open it and you guys can see mute, unmute, mute, unmute, mute, unmute. Now, the two commands actually do work well. You can do that to yourself. It just does this. And it's a bit weird to do it to yourself, but the idea is that if you put someone else in there, you do actually teleport to them. That is an issue that I also had recently. Now, the final part of this admin panel is up here before we get down to here. Now, this is time sensitive. Depending on the time of day, it will say something different, and your entire display name is displayed here with the icon for Premium, Roblox Plus, or Verified if you are one of those three. Now, down here we have an enter announcement content. If I have put in here, let's say something like subscribe for more videos. You definitely should do that, by the way. Click the like button and subscribe if you have found this video useful. If you click announce, it will say up here subscribe for more videos, and I very much agree with what Genuine is saying here. You should definitely subscribe. So that stays up for 10 seconds unless you change the configuration to be different for the announcement duration. Notify, however, doesn't run. That is because there is nothing in the enter username. If I put my name in there, Genuine, then notify, that appears just for me. Announce will send this message to everyone in the server that you are in. So basically like an announcement to everyone. So like announcement. Announce all sends to everyone playing the game through all active servers. And this uses a service that I have made a video on explaining in the past. And you guys can check that out if you would like to. Announce all, yeah, sends to everyone in every server. Everyone currently playing the game through all servers can see this message. And that is how you get the admin panel, how to customize it, and how to actually use the panel. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good rest of your day, and peace out.